Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me. I'm hoping that a lot of you are going to be coming online live with me right now. Welcome to the first day of Live Your Purpose 2018. This is the first day. We've been waiting 2 weeks for this first day. And I can see many of you are now coming in online. Some of you will be watching this later on the repeat. Remember, it's going to be here, the recorded version. And I'm just going to say hello to a few people who are tuning in live. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Dee. Hey, Hector. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Rafi. Hey, Sarah. If you are tuning in online right now, write a comment, say hello to me, and I'll say hello right back. Nikhil, wonderful to see you as well. Vaishali, Melody, hello, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Esme, great to see you. Yes, finally, we are here. Day one for Live Your Purpose 2018. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be with you today. Laman, wonderful to see you. Anna, great to see you. Sandeep, Tanish, Narin. So, for those of you that are watching right now, and for those of you who'll be watching this later on, this is how I recommend to do it. The first thing I'm going to say is a massive congratulations for doing this. I just want to commend you. I want to acknowledge. I want to show some respect for the fact that you've decided to do this with your life. The fact that you've decided that you want to live your purpose in 2018, I congratulate you for making that decision and for allowing me to be your guide. Thank you for being here. Santa, you've been waiting. Danica from Toronto, you've been waiting. Sarah, great to see you. Karen, wonderful to see you as well. Cinnamon White, good morning to you. Celeste, hello from Cape Town. David, evening to you. Thomas, wonderful to see you as well. So I'm just grateful. And I want to commend you all for making this decision in your life, for being committed to change in your life. It's a huge step. And getting here into this group was your first step. And you've done that. And you're here. Now, how do I recommend you to go through these 5 days? Remember, these are 5 free days that I'm taking you through coaching. And we're going to spend some quality time here. Right? This isn't just me saying hello. I'm going to take you through a set of exercises and themes that I've pre-planned. I've put energy into researching, into planning, so that I can share these with you, so that you can actually start applying and living all these things right away. Dee, wonderful to see you. Jonathan, great to see you. Justin, Holly, wonderful to see you. Cynthia, happy to have you here as well. Andy, Tiffany, great to see you. Thank you so much. Jem, wonderful to see you. Shannon, great to have you here. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Sasha. So, pardon my throat. So if you're watching this on the replay as well, for those of you who aren't watching right now, this is how I recommend for everyone to do it. The first thing I recommend is that if you can join live, join live. The second thing I recommend, even if you joined live, is make sure that you watch this back through. Watch it back through for 30 minutes. Go to your highlights, the things that stood out. Think about how you can use this even after it's complete. You can still watch it even after it's done. And I highly recommend that after doing this lesson with me, which will roughly be about 30 minutes to an hour, in that time, I then want you to come back to it to do more of the reflections, to really digest what I'm saying, to really focus in on those subtle things that you might miss on the first time. So I want you to be doing this again. I want you to be looking at this lesson again. That's why it doesn't matter if you're live, because you'll get the whole thing in one place. Now, I'm trusting you that you're going to do that, because that's how you're going to get the most out of it, right? You're going to get the most out of it when you go back to it. And these exercises and tips that I've created for you, all of these are aimed at helping you live your purpose in 2018. That's what I want you to be able to do. Now, living your purpose is not easy, but living your purpose is meaningful. It's powerful. It's fulfilling. And it's going to take some work, but I'm here to help you through that. That's why I'm right here. See, when you've tried in the past to make change on your own, when you've tried in the past without a community, without a guide, without a coach to take you through something, especially such a good, big, global community, we struggle. We lose motivation. We lose the drive. But that's why I'm right here. I want to help you through that, to keep that momentum throughout the whole year. Aditya, Milena, thanks for being here. Daniela, Tiago, Pooja. Don't worry if you can't watch later. Steve, wonderful to see you. Heather, great to see you. Sharon, wonderful to see you. Tejo, Sapi, Imke, Saima, Sabita, Karina, Mateja, Laura, Esther, Karen, Rita, Khalil, Lisa. Wonderful to have every single one of you here. Okay, so are you ready for us about to start? If you're ready, press that like button. Press that love button. Anytime I say anything, press those buttons so that I know that you're listening. I'm going to ask you in the comments to say yes or no, 1s to 5s, and I want you to respond as well. But that's how we're going to do it. And over the next 5 days, we'll be going live at the same time every single day. For those 5 days, I'll be taking you through what I call the 5 P's of living your purpose. The 5 P's of living your purpose. I'm going to share what today's is, and then share what tomorrow's is. I'm not going to tell you all of them because I want you to focus in now, here and now. There are 2 days where you can't do anything. Yesterday and tomorrow. But today, you can make change in your life. And that's what I want you to achieve. That's what I want in your life. Marissa, hello from Philly. Okay, so we're about to start. The 2 things that I asked you to bring, physical things, a notebook and a pen. Do you have one of those available? It doesn't have to be a notebook. It can be a piece of paper too. Absolutely fine. Second thing, an open mind I asked you to bring. A kind heart and your soul. I want you to bring your best to this because that's what's going to bring the best out of you. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to give to you. I'm putting so much energy into these to give you every ounce of energy that I possibly have. Awesome. The 5 P's. Are you ready for the 5 P's? Say yes in the comments if you're ready to the 5 P's. Anna Maria, I'm saying hello to you because you asked so kindly. Annette, I'm grateful I'm doing it, don't worry. Ruby from Los I'm so sad, so cannot hear. I don't know how to get this. Turn up the volume. It seems like everyone else can. Dawn, sorry about that. Edgar, the 5 P's of living your purpose. Exactly. If the screen is frozen, don't worry. It's probably your connection or mine, but it should be fine. Got it? Everyone's ready? Awesome. Brilliant. Don't worry. Just stay patient. If it disconnects from my side, which it hasn't, I've got good Wi-Fi connection. If it does, I'll be back. So don't disappear. Don't get distracted. You've made it this far. Don't let anything else now take you away from living your purpose, right? Like, don't let anything now. Like, there's no need. You've got so far. The last thing you need to do is let anything get in your way. And things are going to get in your way. You're going to get distracted. You're going to miss a live. You're going to forget something I said. You're going to be distracted by your family, your surroundings, your kids, whatever it may be. But I don't want you to get distracted. I want you to bring yourself back because you've worked so hard to be here. If you miss a live, watch it later. Watch it while you're at the gym, right? Watch it while you're reading. Watch it while you're cooking. It's absolutely fine. Just tune in to the vibration, to the energy. Don't let yourself be distracted. If the screen's freezing or coming and going for you, must be your connection. It seems to be absolutely fine for me. If that's happening to you, just tune right back in. I'm live. If mine disconnects, I will go live again and you can join again. You will be able to see it. So we're going to make 2018 the best year of your life, right? The best year of your life. I guarantee you. This is going to be the best year of your life. If you tune in, if you stay with the momentum, if you grow together, this will be the best year of your life. Yeah? Raxma, you will have energy like this if you tune in. We'll go for it, says Edgar. I love that. Jaslyn, so need to transform. Karen, I'm glad I make you feel alive. Shannon, thank you so much. Nikki, Marina, ready to hear. Okay, let's go for it. Let's do this. So, the first P of living your purpose in 2018 is called perspective. The first P we need to master is called perspective. Now, you may have thought that I was going to dive into planning your goals. I was going to dive into building your purpose, finding what your purpose is. And you're like, wait a minute, Jay, why are you starting with perspective? I mean, that doesn't sound as exciting. I'm not sure about that. Like, perspective, really? Like, could we not? Perspective. This first step is the reason why most people never achieve their goals. This is the reason why most people never achieve their goals. Now, I know that's a bold claim, but I can tell you from personal experience and from the experience of coaching for so many years, I've guided so many people, so many entrepreneurs, so many young leaders, so many people, so many great thinkers today. And this has been people's challenge. This has been people's barrier. Lack of perspective has been the block that has stopped people from getting people to where they want to be. Perspective. And I'm going to define this. I'm going to unpackage this for you. We're going to go into perspective together. See, I don't want you to bring your perceptions of perspective here. I'm going to guide you through perspective. Lisa, love it. Nothing more complicated than perspective. It makes sense, says Anna Maria. Really, perspective. You're here to take it all in, says Karen. So I want you to write down the word perspective. On your piece of paper, in your notebook, wherever you are, I want you to write down perspective. All right? I want you to write down perspective. Brilliant. And you can write it on here too. How many of you realize the importance that having perspective is going to have in living your purpose? Write down yes in the comments if you realize the value that having perspective is going to have on living your purpose. Amir, beautiful definition. And I want you to write down your definitions in the comments. What is your definition of perspective? Rancy says, I like perspective. Marina, don't worry, I'll be saying your name many times here. I need perspective, says Nikki. I'm all over the place. Amir, perspective is the frame of the experience. That is beautiful. Perspective is the frame of the experience, right? Just say that to yourself. Say that to yourself right now while you're watching. Perspective is the frame of the experience. It's the lens with which we look at the experience, right? And then you've written down the word perspective. Love this, says Subab. My favorite term and motto, perspective. Awesome. Brilliant. Perspective, done. I hope you're all saying this. Yes. Awesome. Great. Now we have frames that we put onto perspective that are positive and negative. But I'll tell you why perspective is important. So perspective is the way we view our past or experience. That's what perspective is in this context. Perspective is the way we view our past. How many of us have a past that makes us feel like we're incapable? Press the like or love button if you feel like that. Yeah? That you have a past that makes you feel like you're incapable. You're unable to achieve anything. Maybe it's something your teacher said. Maybe it's something that you heard about yourself. Maybe it was a rumor that was spread about you. Maybe it was because you failed at something. We all have a perspective on the past that limits us. The other perspective is, I've tried so hard before, it didn't work out for me. Right? The other perspective is, oh, I'm still trapped. And I want to start with that. How many of us feel trapped, imprisoned, limited by our past? Our perspective of the past. Not our past. We say, my past shows me that I'm not good enough. No, it's not your past. It's your perspective of your past. Does that make sense? Right? Gayatri says it defines a view. Exactly. For me, perspective is the way we want to see things. Exactly. You guys are so right. Jaslyn says it makes me feel like I do not matter. And Tula says I'm now open to all possibilities. I have a past which makes me feel weak, but I'm fighting my past. See, we're fighting our past when actually what we need to be doing is changing our perspective. Notice that. Notice that. Can you see how much energy is going towards the past? We resent our past. We regret our past. We hate our past. We fight with our past. We blame our past. I just saw someone write, MK wrote that. Alex says, yes, I feel trapped by my past. It does impact me, says Karen. Gretchen, I feel so trapped. I keep meeting the same kind of people. You're talking to me, says Carolyn. All right, I'm glad this is connecting. I'm in tune with your energies right now, guys. I've sat with people for so many hours and just listened that I'm able to really understand people's energies and challenges, because not because I'm some mind reader, but I've sat with people and I've listened to them. So the past is not what imprisons us. It's our perspective of the past. Let that land for a moment. It's not your past that limits you. It's your perspective of the past. Right? Does that make sense? It's your perspective of the past. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Before we can move forward and start planning 2018 and start living our purpose, start achieving our potential, all these great things we're always told, we have to change our perspective of the past. Raxma says, people around us could be influencing our negative perspective, even our family. They can, but we have to take ownership. We have to rise and take ownership of that. Amelia, without my past, I wouldn't be who I am. That's a beautiful perspective. My past made me stronger. That's the right perspective. That's beautiful. My past has made me who I am, says D. Does not define my future, though. Beautiful. That's a great perspective. So I want to change my perspective because my past has trapped me, says Brendan. Exactly. Sue says, loving this perspective is so important. Elvadina says, since I switched to looking at my past differently, it completely changed the picture. Exactly. Your past is not a picture you can't repaint. Your past is not a picture you can't redraw. Your past changes by how you change your perspective. Right? The way you view your past is how you experience it. If you view all the positive things that helped you grow, your past becomes positive. And if you view just all the negative things that didn't work out, your past becomes negative because of your perspective, right? Jason, that past made me the person that I am now, but my current choices and actions today are going to make me the person I am tomorrow. That's a perspective that's worth investing in. My past made me strong, but it hurts me still, says Cindy. That's true as well, Cindy. Thank you. Jaslyn says, my past has given me awareness, which helps me now. Tracy, I am who I am because of my experiences. Great. I like who I am. I just don't know who to stop going in these circles. Right. So I want you to say to yourself, I want you to say this out loud, wherever you are. Even if you're running right now, you're in the gym, wherever you are, I want you to say this out loud. If you're watching this on the replay, you can say it out loud too. Because remember, when we all say it together, there's an energy that we're creating. That's a collective consciousness that we're creating. Tell me if you're loving this right now. Press the like and love button. I'm literally channeling energy. I'm flowing with it. I'm giving you guidance, tips, and principles that have changed the lives of the most successful people in the world, the most happy people, the most fulfilled people. If you're loving this, I want you to write down yes in the comments so that I know that you're tuned in, right? My past is my best teacher. For years, I've been in a place where I never wanted to be, says Nils, and we're going to get you out of there, right? I'm going to hold your hand and we're going to get you out of there. My past almost ruined me. That's a perspective. Let's stop putting the emphasis on my past. Joshua is saying, my past has hardened me. It hasn't. It's your perspective of your past that's hardened you. Start making that distinction with me. When you start speaking, even if you love your past, don't say you love your past. Say that you love your perspective of your past. What are you doing when you make that distinction? You are putting all of your emphasis, control, energy, focus on your perspective that you own, that belongs to you. Does that make sense? It's such a subtle point. Even if you're speaking honestly about your past, what you're saying is that time can define an experience. But the time doesn't define the experience. Your perspective of time defines the experience. When we say that was a waste of time, that's a perspective. That time could have been incredible. It could have been amazing. So I want you to stop putting emphasis, even in our language, the way we speak, is our perspective of something changes that something. Right? J, influences can stop doing from what you want to do. Exactly. Thank you. I love what me last had made me realize. Thank you. I don't even think about my past, said Julia. That's incredible, Julia. That's amazing. 1 second. Think about that. Think about that for a moment, right? It's not your past. It's your perspective of the past. I love my perspective of the past, says Erica. Start changing in your language. Your language is creating thought patterns. The stories we tell ourselves verbally become the stories we say mentally, and the stories we say mentally become our stories verbally, right? Perspective of past means you take ownership of something. If I say something that sticks out to you, write it in the comments so that other people can learn from it. Remember, when you're sharing what you learn, you're more likely to remember it. So the message I'm giving you right now, which is such an important message, which so many people don't understand. They say, my past is holding me back. My past is slowing me down. My past made me who I am. It's amazing. It's not. Your past didn't make you. Your perspective of your past made you. And when you say that, you're empowering yourself to always allow things to make you and grow you and evolve you. But when you say my past made me who I am and it's made me powerful, it means now that past or an experience can control how you feel. And Nils, you were strong enough when you were younger. It's your perspective that you want, and we're going to change that. See, when you own your perspective, you can change it. I love the perspective of the past. Beautiful. If you're loving what I'm saying right now, press the like and the love button. Press yes in the comments. Let me know. I learned to change my perspective on my past, but now I'm wondering why I'm still limiting my perspective and why I still feel blocked. That's okay, D. That's okay. We are going to change that. The first thing we're dealing with is perspective. Then we'll talk about limiting beliefs next. Marina says, your way of explanation is awesome. Thank you. Your past has taught me to be resilient. April, your past is not. Your perspective of your past has taught you to be resilient. Ruby, beautiful. My perspective has made me wise, says Joy. Beautiful. Your past doesn't hold you back. You do. Yes, not even you. You can't hold yourself back because you wants to grow. You wants to love. You wants to rise. Your perspective. I'm putting all the emphasis on your perspective of everything. Malika says, loving it. It's lovely to know so many different perspectives from people around the world. Mataja says, as I said, when we admitted we need help, Jay's help, it's like half the job done. Thank you. I'm so grateful. My perspective of past has made me. That makes so much sense. Beautiful, Tevin. I'm so glad. I'm loving this. My soul is energized, says Karen. Stacy is asking a beautiful question. She says, if I am embarrassed or regretful of a situation I experience, it is my perspective that can change how I feel about the situation. Completely. Completely. Completely, completely, completely. A situation can be embarrassing. A situation can be painful. But it's our perspective of that situation that defines our experience long term. You can be embarrassed in the moment. I've been embarrassed in the moment. That's normal. Being embarrassed in the moment, you may not be able to stop straight away, your default. But you can process that through your perspective differently. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a personal example, right? I think this is an important question. If you want me to answer the question, press the like and love button. It's a beautiful question. When I was around probably year 4, so grade 4, I studied in London. I'm born and raised in London. I'm British in that sense, but I consider myself soul and consciousness and beyond all bodily designations. But when I was in grade 4, which is roughly around 8 years old, I tell this story about my first experience of public speaking. I was dressed in traditional Indian clothing. I was obese as a child, so what I was wearing didn't really fit that well based on my body type. And I went up on stage and I started to sing something in my language for the school assembly. There were around 400 students, maybe more than that. All of my peers, elders, teachers, everyone in the audience. And I started singing. I don't have a very good singing voice. I'll be honest. I'm opening up, being vulnerable. You guys have been so incredibly open on the group. I just want to say that we've really created our own social network. We've created our own platform of positivity and love. And that's why we won't tolerate anything that's not like that. But we've actually created that platform. Just think about it. In 2 weeks, we've created a platform already with thousands of people that are creating a collective consciousness of growth and evolution, not of negativity, not of the news, not of politics. We've created that together. I want you to recognize just how incredible that is, because I recognized that when I looked through all your messages. So anyway, I started singing and everyone started laughing. Absolutely everyone. I was singing in my language, in Hindi, so people were laughing at that. I was dressed in my traditional clothing, which people probably hadn't seen before in the area I grew up in London. And everyone started laughing. I was embarrassed. I looked down because I forgot the lines to read the next line. And when I looked down, I couldn't read anymore. And I was wondering what happened. I can't read. It's because I'd been crying and all the tears had blurred the words on the piece of paper. True story. I couldn't read. I didn't know the next line. I forgot. People were laughing more. This is everyone I went to school with. I'm 8 years old. Right? Can I have an I want to hear you say wherever you are. Thank you for the little teardrop emoji. And it was humiliating. And I thought, oh my God, no one's ever... My perspective of the experience was that it was embarrassing. It was humiliating. No one would ever talk to me again. Everyone would think I was a loser. Right? That was my perspective of my experience of the past. And when I grew older, I was laughed at for ages that day and that week for crying on stage in front of everyone. And now I'm on stage in front of thousands of people. I just did an event in Dubai with 5,000 people. I just did an event in New York with around 2,000 people. I've done events with 10,000 people. And it's incredible that now that's my life. My life is to share. Why? Because I changed my perspective of that experience. I realized why it didn't go right. I'll tell you why. I was speaking a language that I'm not the most fluent in, as much as I am in English. That made me unconfident. I was dressed in a way that I didn't feel confident. I hadn't practiced enough, so I didn't feel confident. I was doing singing, which I didn't feel confident. All of these things were so unnatural to me that of course I was going to get it wrong. Of course it wasn't going to work out right. I was only 8 years old. Now my perspective of the past could either stop me from ever getting on stage, or I could learn all these things from it and now say, okay, I'm going to speak in English because that's my language I'm fluent in. I'm going to dress what makes me feel confident. When you see me on stage, I wear t-shirts and jeans because that's how I feel most confident. And I feel happy in my trainers. The third thing is that I'm sharing a message that I believe in, that I love. This is what I'm sharing with you. I'm sharing my heart. And the fourth thing is I've trained, I've practiced, I've improved, I've got older, I've matured. Notice how I changed my perspective of the past. The past didn't change, but my perspective changed, and that changed my reality today. That changed my future because I changed my perspective. Beautiful question, Stacy. I hope that helped you. Ziamar says, this is such an alternative way for me to incorporate my professional training about cognitive behavioral therapy to a personal level myself. Beautiful. It was very inspiring. I'm glad you've seen the story. Yes, I have told the story before. I just wanted to share it with you. Brilliant. Awesome. Good. Okay, so this is the point. Changing your perspective of the past. Now, if you don't do this, I'll give an example. I was in Whole Foods the other day. The Whole Foods is a supermarket. If you've never been to Whole Foods, it's a huge supermarket that sells groceries, sells the usual stuff. Now, when you're doing that, and now I can see some questions are like racing ahead as to how do I explain my perspective, but don't worry about that. Right now, we're just talking about processing your perspective, right? We'll get there. I promise you, we've got 5 days. We're going to get there. I'm giving you loads of quality time and attention and focus. This is my passion for 5 days to serve you all. This is beautiful, says Shelby. The past is your lesson. The present is your gift. The future is your motivation. True. And it's your perspective of the past, present, and future. Remember that. Remember that. Jeanette, I changed my perspective as well, literally from all my years in school where I was badly bullied. Me too, Jeanette. I was bullied too. Thank you for sharing your experiences as well. Well, no, thank you. I was bullied until I was like 14. Okay, brilliant. I'm glad you all are understanding this. This is a small change in your brain. The more you change your words, we're actually currently, right now, whether you know it or not, we're rewiring your brain. We're actually rewiring your brain by now choosing to say my perspective of my past, whether it's positive or negative, versus saying my past. People say my past is negative. It's not. My perspective of my past. Your perspective can either be uplifting or bringing you down. Your perspective can either be positive or negative. Everything this week, when you say that's bad, don't say bad. Say that my perspective currently is bad. How can I make it good? We see things as good and bad, love and hate, like and dislike, good and bad, amazing, not amazing. We can change our perspective. Perspective is everything, said Mangesh just right now, and he's so right. Beautiful, Lee. This is how we're moving on to this. How to deal with the hurt you in the past is still in your present. So I want you to write down. I want you to write this down. I want you to say it out loud. Nothing is good or bad. It is my perspective of the experience, thing, or event that is good or bad. And I can always choose to change my perspective. You've just changed your life. You've just changed your life. Nothing is good or bad. My perspective of the experience, event, or thing makes something good or bad. I am in control of my perspective. Notice you're not in control of your situation. You're not in control of someone else's mind. You're in control of your perspective. Right? Beautiful. I'm so glad you're loving this. This is fantastic. So, I saw this at Whole Foods. I was just getting onto Whole Foods supermarket. Pankaj says, I still suffer. I can't handle office politics. People know I am emotional and use them against me. How to get rid of it? Change your perspective of what people are doing to you. How can something bad happen to you be changed to be good? Because of the way you view it. It's the way your perspective. That's exactly the point I'm giving you. I can always choose to change my perspective. Exactly, Shati, you get it. But is it not difficult to change your perspective, says Ilan? Yes, it is. I never said this was going to be easy. But you're in charge of your perspective. You can't change what someone did to you in the past, but you can change your perspective. That's the difference. This is beautiful. Issy, I did a list of positive and negative things about a situation. Exactly. We're going to get on to that. So, what I want you to write down is all the things in your past that you believe are stopping you. That your perspective suggests that are stopping you. That are negative, that are bringing you down. Office politics, past relationships, breakup. And I want you to write down, first thing in the first column, I want you to write down 3 things. Only 3, no more than that. 3 big things from your past that you have a negative perspective on, that's holding you back, that makes you feel imprisoned, that makes you feel trapped. What are they? Write down 3 things. That's all. Right? Write down 3 things. Thank you, Madan, for saying my videos are amazing. I hope you're loving this. Okay, it all goes back to positive thinking. It's a choice. It is a choice. But this is the, I'm telling you how to change your brain here. Right? The second thing I want you to write down, after writing down 3 things, right? Write down 3 things from your past that you believe are trapping you, imprisoning you, stopping you, whatever it may be. I want you to write down the perspective you currently have on it. So your list could be, my boyfriend broke up with me. That's one of the things. Your perspective is, it was negative because you loved him. It was negative because you wanted to have your life with him. Right? Write down those 2 things. In the first line, write down what happened. In the second, write down your current negative perspective. Sherry says, what if it's a situation that there is 100% no positives? Sherry, you know what? There have been people who've had the worst things in the world happen to them and practice this principle, and it lifts the burden. See, when you're carrying this, you're the only one carrying it. I was in Whole Foods the other day, and this young boy, very young, probably about 5 years old, was holding all these things that he wanted from Whole Foods, right? There was like snacks and chips and sweets and chocolates and all this stuff. He was carrying it around while his mother was pushing the pushchair. And He then saw there was a discount on this brand new toy. It was a fairly larger package than what he was holding. And he wanted this toy so badly. And you could tell that his eyes lit up when he saw this toy, because this toy, right? Listen to me, just tune in for now. This toy, you could see he lit up about it. It was exactly what he wanted. More than the sweets and the chocolates. He's holding all these sweets and chocolates, and he's trying to get the toy, right? He's trying to fit the toy somehow in everything he's holding. And he can't, because he hasn't got any space. And he can't. He just physically can't. He literally could not do it. So he's trying to get his mum's attention. And he gets his mum's attention. She's a loving mum. She's already offered for him to put all those snacks into the trolley. But no, he wanted to hold them. And then she says to him, she says, I can't remember what his name was. I think it was something like Jake. I think I overheard Jake. Obviously, I'm spying on them the whole time. But I was observing because I had a lesson and I like observing people. She said to him, she said, Jake, put that down and you can have the toy. He said, no, I don't want to put this down. I want these snacks. I want these sweets. She said, no, put it down. Put it into the trolley. And he goes, no, I want to hold these snacks. I want to hold these snacks. That's what we're like. We want to hold on to all this baggage that we're carrying. And then we want to get this new amazing thing in 2018. But we're not willing to give this up. We're not willing to give away all this baggage that we're holding. That breakup, that failure, that limiting belief. These are all baggage that we're holding. How can we receive something new and amazing if we don't give up something old and that broke us, that destroyed us? How are we able to do that? It's not possible. How can you have space in your life to receive more when you can't give up what you have right now? It makes no sense. We all need space to receive more greatness into our lives. But without it, we're just holding on to this stuff that we don't even know, that doesn't have any value. Take what you need from the experience of cinnamon, leave the rest behind. Exactly. So now I want you to change your perspective. So you wrote down the event, the thing. I'll give you an example. So I gave you my public speaking example. The event was I messed up my public speaking. My perspective was I'm going to look silly, my experience, blah, blah, blah. I changed that to a positive by writing down what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what I learned from it. As soon as you learn from something, it becomes a lesson, not a mistake. It becomes a lesson, not a failure. It becomes a lesson, not humiliating. As soon as you learn from it. But the problem is we choose not to learn from it because we just want to carry it. We don't want to make space for more greatness and grace to come into our lives. Do you want grace in your life? Do you want abundance in your life? Do you want love in your life? How can you receive and accept love when you're holding on to hate? How can you receive love when you're holding on to a love that didn't even want you? How can you receive grace when you're holding on to these little pieces? I'm glad you like the example. Renee, what a great analogy. It's true. It happened. I actually saw it. And that's what I thought of. Great analogy, says Gurmeet. I'm glad you liked it. I'm letting go of the snack, says Bina. Everyone, I'm letting go of the snack. Say, I want the new. Right? You want the new. Jessica says, we have to let go of the things that already can't fit anymore with us. So we'll get more better things. Exactly. Angela, thank you. It's a true story. It just happened a few days ago. This just made me cry. This is so true, says Jetsal. Thank you. Jay, have you ever been depressed? When did you decide to help people? At what age? How did you know what to do? Yes, I was on the verge of depression. Definitely. I felt broken. I felt lost. I felt like I didn't have anything to give. But I literally, my motivation was that I have to teach people what I've learned because I've come across so much incredible wisdom. I picked myself back up. That's a story for another day. I'll save that for another day. Stacy, wow, truth, our reality is a saboteur inside of us. Yes, and it's our perspective of reality. Wow, love the way you relate the story. Thank you, Zara. We need to let go, guys. That's what perspective is. Perspective allows us to let go. Jason, not being able to let go of the past will learn from it. It will maintain its grip on you. Exactly, Jason. You are spot on. I'm with so many evolved thinkers. I love this. This is, how beautiful is this? That it's my Sunday morning. I don't know where you are, whether it's Sunday night, Sunday afternoon. On a Sunday, we're all together. We're sharing, we're loving, we're creating. It's beautiful. And if you're watching this on replay, even if you couldn't be here live, you're getting to really digest this. It's so beautiful. What a beautiful experience. We'll have to figure out ways to do it long term. I have to figure out a way we can do that. Definitely. If that's something you want, I definitely want it. Brendan, I'm making space for the good to come. All that I'm holding on to should be put down. Right. So this is the exercise. You have to do this. Whether you do it right now, the event or thing of your past that's blocking you. We need to gain perspective on it. What is your current negative perspective? What are you changing your positive perspective to? Take that lesson and move on. Put it down. You put it down when you learn from it. If you don't learn from it, you don't put it down. Right? If you don't recognize the value that you can't receive until you let go, you'll hold on. But I guarantee you there's more to receive. Just like that kid. That toy is there to be received. But you have to let go. You have to let go. Right? If you don't let go, you can't receive what I want to teach you. And if you don't believe that there's more for you to receive, then you'll be left and be deceived by what you have. Right? Who wants to be deceived? Why do we want to be in that limited trap situation? If you don't believe that there's more for you to receive and achieve, you'll be left with what you have, which will deceive you. It will trap you and stop you. Okay, Rena. First, Rena says she's trying to let go of her past. It keeps coming back. How do you move on and let go? So step one is what I just taught you right now. Change your first, make a commitment that you're going to change your perspective of the past. If you've not changed your perspective of the past, you can't let go. You have to change your perspective of the past. Right? First, your perspective. That's why number one today, first piece, is perspective. Right? Second thing is you have to change. Right? You have to change what you see, touch, feel, hear, speak to. Do you think that you can walk into a space that you're familiar with, right? Do you think you can walk into a space that you're familiar with and not have memories of the past, of that space? Especially when you go into exactly the same space. You have to start not going to spaces, conversations, and I'm not talking about people, but specific people that spark only specific conversations. You have to not be there. Because if you don't change your position, thank you, Elizabeth, lots of love to you as well. If you don't change your position, if you don't change your surroundings, if you don't change your environment, how can you let go? How can you let go? How bad do you want to let go? If you want to let go of a situation, you have to let go of the things that that situation came with and find new. You have to let go of that snacks if you want the new. You're not going to have space. And people say, no, but I really like that restaurant. I really like that space. I really like that group of people. Great. You like them, so then deal with the baggage for the rest of your life. Right? You really like them, so deal with the baggage. But that's not the point. You don't want it. You don't want to feel like that for the rest of your life. Right? We don't want to talk about that for the rest of your life. Jem, Ruby, thank you. Lennon, if there's people that you can't forgive, change your perspective on it. It taught you that they're not trustworthy. See, we have struggles with people that we can't let go in our past. Right? We all struggle with letting go of people that we can't in our past. But this is the perspective I've gained. I've probably lost, and this is genuine truth, I probably lost every friend I was really close to because they either wanted to compete with me, they wanted to show that they were better than me, or they were jealous or envious. But all I wanted was to be equals. I'm someone who loves being equals. I love peers. I love growing together. I don't want to be superior to anyone. And I don't want to make anyone else feel inferior. I just want to love and be loved and give love. That's all I want. And in many stages of my life, my closest friends have wanted to compete with me, be better than me, try and put me down. And at the time it was painful. My perspective was that it was painful. Notice how I'm changing my language. It wasn't painful. My perspective was that it was painful. But that's because I wanted them to be trustworthy. I wanted that person to be the best friend in the world. That was my perspective. But reality was that they weren't trustworthy. Reality was that they were not who I wanted them to be, and they won't be who I want them to be because they're not me. Because I'm not in charge of them. I'm not in control of them. I have to let go. I have to let go. So when I changed my perspective that actually they saved me time. At least I wasn't friends with them for 10 years. At least I wasn't friends with them for 20 years. All right? At least I wasn't friends. Give me 1 second. Right? Sorry, I had a bit of room service. I'm in a hotel. The perspective is painful, but it's not actually painful. You have to change. You want that person to change, but they won't. So all you can change is when I changed my perspective to realize those people are not trustworthy, they weren't best friends, and I learned that and I moved on, I let go because we don't let go because we have a false expectation. We have a false expectation that that person will change for us. We have a false expectation that that person is still perfect. We have a false belief and a want that that person is still the most incredible person in the world. But you know what the truth is? They're not, and they've shown you that. And all you have to do is receive that. So it's not your past. It's not a person. It's not people that are painful, that are causing you stress. It is your perspective of people. It is your perspective of the past. It is your perspective of your experience that is crafting your reality. JP, your perspective, your attitude, what you focus on creates your perception, your beliefs, what you feel, which creates your projection. Exactly. Thank you, my friend. Beautifully said. Right? Your perspective creates your perception, which creates your projection of what you see. Beautifully said, JP. Thank you so much for sharing that. Ruby, your stories truly are inspiring. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I've learned to let go, says Amelia, and not hold on to the grudge. It takes me day now where in past it would take me months. Beautiful. Amelia, share your learnings. Justina says, hello, Jay. Thank you for your message. You're so inspiring. That means so much to me. Virat says, grateful that I have a close network from friends. Yes, and see, people often say, oh, if you've been through a tough time, just surround yourself with people. No, change your perspective. If you do that, you're dealing with the root of the issue. I love you for this word, equal. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kum, for that love. Hey, Chirai, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Wonderful to have you here. Maya, now I'm going to start being mindful of my perspective on events and things. Exactly. This is it. Yes. Guys, fist bump in the air, right? I'm going to start being mindful of my perspective. That's all we need to do, right? That's all we need to do. Beautiful. This session is a blessing to me, says Martha. Thank you, Martha. Change your this is beautiful. Marie, you've hit it. Change your perspective to align with reality. Change your perspective to align with reality. Beautiful. That's it. We create a false perception which is not real because of what we want, what we're faking. But reality is right there. You can only change yourself. Exactly. Can you move on and still be around people? You can, but you may need to distance yourself first. So that's why the first P of living your purpose is perspective. I want you to transform all your negative perspectives into positive ones, and the ones you can't, you have to let go. Like that kid in the Whole Foods store holding on to all their snacks and crisps, right? That's the only way to do it. Beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And we have a question. What if you cannot avoid people as you have to work with them? Yeah, so you have to work with them, but you don't let them into your personal story, your personal space. You work with them as a professional, but you don't work with them as a personal, right? You don't open up about your personal with people you don't trust, right? You work with them professionally. Priya says, thank you, Jay. Great listening, motivation for setting intentions. First, I want you to let go. I want you to give up, and I want you to move on so that we can receive the new. And believe it or not, if you simply listen attentively to what I'm saying, if you just absorb it, if you allow yourself, all the noises coming up in your head, as soon as I'm saying this, you're saying, oh, but Jay, I can't let go. Like, it's not working for me. Like, it's too much. Do you want new? Do you want fresh grace and perspective in your life? Do you want love in your life? Isn't that all worth it? Don't you want more? Don't you want better? Of course you do. Of course you want better. And guess what? It's all up for grabs if you let go. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Tina says, that was awesome, Jay. It made me think so much. Thank you. Right. Great question. Justin, we need to create a space in the group to speak our perspectives for this assignment. Yes, please. So the assignment is write out an event, thing, or experience. Write out your perspective of it. That's negative. Write out a positive perspective. I need you to think deep. Just 3 things. I need you to think deep. Abhay, I'm not a life changer. You are the life changer. You are the life changer. I'm not the life changer. I'm here to facilitate your life to change. Shannon, that's ego and fear speaking. Exactly. When I'm talking, you're going to have ego and fear. What about grace? What about belief of what's out there? And what if the people that are hurting you are very close? Change your perspective of how close you are to them. Just because you're close because of family or closeness in bond of living close to each other doesn't bring you close to people. Right? That doesn't make you close to anyone. Let go the old to empty your mind, and then you will receive the new, says Simon. Beautiful, Simon. Thank you so much. I'm open book to all. Is that bad? Yes, Lily. It's bad. We don't need to be an open book to all. Be an open book in the areas that someone can help you write that book better. Right? Be an open book to people in the area who can help you write your book better. If you're trying to write a book, you don't ask someone who's not an author. You don't share your story with someone who's not an author or a reader who's going to improve your book writing. Does that make sense? So you can't. Nothing negative would get a reaction because of perspective. Exactly. Rana, thank you. Ruby, love everything. That's awesome. I'm glad. It means so much to me. Surbi, you've touched millions of lives. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you've all decided to be here. And I'm really hoping that all of you are going to come on this journey with me. There's a lot more planned I've got for every single one of you. And I want to take you on this journey with me because I truly believe it, that you're hearing this message for the first time today. Maybe you've heard it before. Maybe you've kind of heard it. But when I guide you through it, when I coach you through it, when I hold your hand through it, when we work together through it, I guarantee you that in a year, you'll be in a totally different place, right? Divyanka, I really needed this. Love the open book thing. So many brilliant minds here. Yes, you're all incredible minds. This is beautiful. Aditya says it's not a session on self-growth. It's a world family meeting on self-growth. It's a perspective of thinking. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Brenda, thanks for your positivity. Rena, thanks for yours. Tracy says the last 50 minutes have changed things for me. I feel lighter already. Beautiful. Yes, I want you to feel lighter. Tyler Stacy, I learn things by the minute when I listen to you, Jay. Thank you. I tell everyone about you. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I want you to feel lighter. That's what this first step is all about. You should be feeling lighter. You should have the tools to let go. Because when you allow yourself to leave behind the old, tomorrow we can start inviting the new. But if you don't leave behind the old, and I'm going to share with you one last incredible principle for perspective. So first is changing your negative perspectives into positive, right? Write this down. Write this down. I want to see all your notes. I want you to post them in the group. If you've written some beautiful notes, put them in the group. And I want you to start doing that. Jason, I'm grateful that you've shared this with us. It's changed our perspective and lives. Thank you, Jason. Remember, it's not your past that defines you. It's your perspective of the past. And you can always choose your perspective. You can't choose your past. You can choose your perspective of the past. The open book thing is brilliant. A great way of looking at it. Thank you, Tracy. It means a lot. So write this down. Inside perspective, you have changing the negative perspectives into positive ones. Second step is that you want to focus in on this amazing word that too many people forget, called gratitude. When your perspective includes gratitude, when you can find gratitude in the negative, when you can find gratitude in the wrongdoings to you, that's when you can find perspective and positive. Find gratitude. What did you learn? You learned that that person was fake. You learned that that person wasn't worth the rest of your life. You learned that those snacks weren't worth it. You learned that. When you learn that and you're grateful for that, you stop imprisoning yourself. You stop imprisoning yourself. You allow yourself to move on. That's what I want for you. I want you to be able to move on. I want you to have grace. I want you to have love in your life. I want you to rise. I want you to feel uplifted. I don't want you to slow down. I'm going to help you do that, right? We're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. So I want you to have gratitude. I would love for you to write down right now, 3 things that you're grateful for from negative things in the past, negative perspectives of the past, and 3 things you're grateful for that were great. See, a grateful heart is never choosy when to be grateful. If you can be grateful in tough times and in good times, you mastered life. How can you be grateful in tough times? Because you realize that there's so much to learn. You realize that there is still so much to be thankful for. Robin Roberts, TV presenter in the US, said that if we threw all our problems into a pile, we'd grab ours back right away. When we see our problems, see the problems of the world, see the problems of people around us, it's a different ballgame. I released a video on YouTube the other day which talks about a little girl who didn't even have hands. If you haven't seen it, I recommend seeing it. By the way, if none of you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. You get 2 new videos a week. And in those 2 new videos, you get me sharing stories and ideas and insights. It's free on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Lisa says, what can I do to change self-hate? How can I change my perspective on that? Lisa, beautiful question. So your perspective on yourself is hate. How do you change that? Talk to the people that truly love you. Ask them, why do they love you? They might find it weird at first, but they'll give you great answers. Sit down with people who love you and ask them, why do you love me? When you see their answers, you'll be able to start changing that perspective of the self-hate. That's the first thing I want you to do. The second thing I want you to do, Lisa, is I want you to think about all the people who've ever helped you. They've helped you because they love you. They've helped you because they care. They helped you because they see more in you than you see yourself. And the third thing I'd like you to do, Lisa, to change that self-hate into self-love, is that I want you to start noticing the greatness in you. And tomorrow's P, here we go, I'm going to tell you. And that's the one for Lisa. You're going to love this, and so is everyone else. Tomorrow's P is potential. First, we have to change our perspective and let go. When we do that, we can then now rise and open our mind to the possibilities and potential, right? Possibilities and potential, the opportunities that are available to every single one of us. At one point, I've told this story a million times, J.K. Rowling, abused by her husband, divorced, single mom with a young child, homeless, waitress. If she took the perspective that her life was over, we wouldn't have Harry Potter. She wouldn't have transformed so many lives through her books and inspired so many people. Can you believe that? What did J.K. Rowling do differently? One day, J.K. Rowling was a waitress working right next to another waitress. Nothing wrong with being a waiter, but she was homeless. She had hardly any money. She was abused by her husband. She was a single mom with one child, a young child. Imagine her perspective was, I failed at life, it's all over. What's the difference between us and J.K. Rowling? Nothing. Apart from the fact that she chose to change her perspective. She believed in the potential and the possibilities that existed. We're defined by the stories we tell ourselves. She changed the story she told herself. That's the difference. It's available. That potential and possibilities is available to absolutely everyone, right? Christina says, I've been practicing the last year. Suresh says, thank you for your positive words. You're really inspiring. Dina says, I love this. I'm so grateful. That was a great video about that girl. Yes, it was. Your videos are an absolute delight. Love your storytelling and narration. Thank you, Tina. Karen, I'm full of knowledge, love, and power. Yes, say this to yourself. I say this out loud and type it if you want to. Write it for sure. I have the power. Say it right now with me. I have the power to change my perspective. Say it out loud. To change my perspective on the past, the present, and the future. I have the power to change my perspective on the past, present, and future. And people. And when I choose to do this, say it out loud, and when I choose to do this, I open myself up to the possibilities and potential of my true self. I open myself up to the possibilities and potential of my true self. I don't now what do I want you to do from this? We've been doing this for an hour, believe it or not. I haven't even realized where the time's gone, and I don't really care. I just want to give to you. I just want to give freely. I just want to love, serve, and give. The incredible thing is that what I want you to do is not tell me that this was just amazing. I do like it when you tell me this was great, but that's not what I want you to do. I want you to take this forward. I want you to share it with everyone else in the group. I want you to share your lessons, the best quotes, the best stories, the best examples. Share them, comment, love, serve each other, communicate, connect with each other. Give the passion that you received in this session with everyone else. And I want you to get ready for opening up your mind to the potential. So I want you to take out 30 minutes to do this activity, right? To do this activity. Robin says, so amazing. This is all coming to me at the perfect time. Thank you. Well, thank you. Shannon, thank you. Carlos, thank you. Vicky, thank you. Angela, thank you. Vandana, Shashank, Brendan. Don't worry if you need to catch up, but make sure you catch up. Focus in on what you can gain from this and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we go for another supercharged hour of potential and possibilities. Right? Potential and possibilities. I'm going to blow your mind as to what's possible. When we drop those snacks like that kid, we open up for that new. We change our life, right? That's what I want you to do. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Love you lots. Lots of gratitude, lots of love for every single one of you. I'm so happy that we've decided to do this together. So happy we've decided to do this together. Tell all your friends who didn't decide to join as well about this, what you're gaining from it. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. If you're watching this on the replay, that's absolutely fine. I'm sending you all my love as well. If I didn't get to read your name, I'm sending you all my love. If you're watching this on the replay, I'm so grateful to every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this on the replay, you've got more time, more space to filter, to skip, to pause. And I want all of you to watch it again. I don't want you to just do this once, even if you've done it live. You've got to do it again anyway. You've got to go through it once more. If you really want this to settle, you need to go through it 3 times. Each of the lives, you need to go through them 3 times. So today we talked about perspective, positive, and gratitude. 3 easy steps. You have a perspective, change it to being positive, start with gratitude. This hour has changed my entire perspective on my past. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Chelsea. Angela, the more people you inspire, the more people will inspire you. I'm living this beautiful. Alexandru, the positivity in this group helped me so much to change my state for the present. Cheers to all. And Jay, thank you. I'm going to be posting every single day, guys. I'm right here to help you, serve you, love you. I love you all very much. Thank you so much. I'm so, so grateful. I'm thankful that you've allowed me to be the guide on this journey for you. Thankful that you've allowed me to be your coach. I'm your coach. I'm your guide. I'm right here to serve. Most important, I'm your servant. I'm here to help you and serve you. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Love you all.